All that we are is the result of what we have thought. You are in life exactly where you are supposed to be. And it's based upon your thought pattern. Because thoughts produce our actions. See, I could just watch what a person does. And what they do, their action relays their thought. Actions follow thoughts. Every thought produces an action. It's your actions that will relay what you really think. Every thought produces an action. Every action precedes a thought. Belief influences our thoughts. It's so important when you come to a weekend like this, the primary purpose is that it empowers your belief system. How many of you believe just a little bit more than before you got here? Thank you. You look around this room when you thought it was just you. When you thought, well, maybe I'm the only one that feels like this. When you spoke to a couple of friends or a few relatives, maybe somebody at work and they looked at you like you were from another planet. And then you come into this arena and you see other warriors and other warriorettes just like you. It elevates and empowers your belief level. And remember that your belief influences your thoughts. And thoughts are things. What you think will produce your actions. Actions will produce your habits. Your habits will produce your future. It will produce your lifestyle. And so, negative also produces a negative pattern of lifestyle. Go to the book of Job 3:25. What I have feared has come upon me. You can't fear something unless you what? Visualize it. However, positive thoughts produce positive actions. What you need to do is you need to create mental pictures. What do you want your life to be like? What would your perfect day be like? What time do you want to go to bed at night? What time do you want to get up in the morning? What is your vision? See, what you got to do is you got to visualize your dream. Visualize it. Get what we call a singleness of purpose. It's like a magnifying glass. How many of you remember having a magnifying glass when you were a kid? How many of you remember having that? Remember sitting next to one of your friends or something? They'd be sitting there like this, you know, with their hand there, and you'd like sneak the thing on their hand and burn a hole on, am I right? Because what you did was you harnessed all the sun's energy, and you harnessed it to one pinnacle of a point. And you brought all that energy to one pinnacle of a point, and you burned their hand. Imagine if you got a singleness of purpose. Imagine if your thought was on one vision, singleness of purpose. So that thought produced one action, and that action sustained over a period of time, over a duration of period of time, will transfer the thought to its physical reality. In order to convert that vision to its reality, I had to focus on that thought and get a singleness of purpose, because the thought produced the action. The action is a byproduct of the thought. That's why every time some of you are on other excursions doing all kinds of different things, that translates where your thoughts are. And if your belief is shooken and depleted, then what happens is your thoughts are elsewhere. And because your thoughts are elsewhere, your actions a byproduct of that thought, and your action is everywhere but in your business. If you can get a singleness of purpose and focus, you will transfer through action. You will transfer the thought to its physical reality, and you will be free. The transferring factor is action, but you got to think about it all the time. That's the key. Think about it all the time. People who are successful have an unprecedented level of belief. Protect that belief. Anybody come up to you this week and they murmur anything negative? Anybody gossiping out in the hall or in a corner somewhere? Run from them. They will deplete your belief level. Run from them. They are contagious. They will influence you negatively as opposed to positively. Protect that belief. A deep-seated belief that goes through every fiber of your being in the inner spirit of your heart. That's the force that brings outstanding results, sets the law of attraction to play, and enables sustained thought. And like a huge magnet, it correlates with its object. What's your dream? Let me end by saying this, guys. Just saw Rocky's last movie. Yet there's always some kind of an inspirational message about this fictitious fighter. And of course, he's Italian. I like the message. And so here's Rocky Balboa. Here he is. He's like, he's old now. He's got a restaurant, and every time somebody sees him, they want his autograph. And there's his son. His son's working like in some kind of a corporate type of setting. And everybody there, they call him like Little Rocky, and hey, can I get your dad's autograph? So he's kind of living in his dad's shadow, so to speak. Now they have this fictitious fight on television. It's like one of those computerized fights between Rocky and the current champ. And who would win if Rocky had fought this champ today in the condition he was in yesterday? And and all of a sudden, boom, he gets this punch in, the champ goes down. Computerized. So somebody gets this idea, let's get the fight for real. And they convince Rocky to do it, so he comes out of retirement. And his son comes up to him because his son's in a bar with a couple of guys after work, and there it is on television. It's Rocky Balboa is going to fight the champ. And his son's like, oh man, and they all start laughing at the son. They go, your father's going to get creamed. He's going to get killed. He's over the hill. He's a dinosaur. They were calling him Rocky Balboasaurus. So now he barges out of the bar. He goes to his dad's restaurant. He says, Dad, I got to talk to you. Step outside. They stay on the street corner over there. And he says, Dad, everybody's laughing at you. They're putting you down. They're saying you don't have what it takes. It's never going to happen. Dad. It's hurting me, man. You're hurting me. You don't understand. You're hurting me. Rocky goes, well, I don't mean to hurt you. Yeah, I know, but you are. He said, people are laughing at you. Rocky goes, I remember when I used to be able to hold you in the palm of my hand. I said to your mom, look at this. This baby's going to be better than anybody ever. And I watched you grow up, and it was like a privilege watching you grow up. And you became somebody great. And when it came time for you to become a man, you stepped up. You became a man, but somewhere along the way, you lost it. Because you started to listen to what other people thought and said, and you lost it. He said, son, let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or anybody else is going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get up and move forward. And keep moving forward. That's what winners do. Go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him, her, or anybody else. Because cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. Be accountable to you. You don't blame nobody else in life for where you are, where you thought you might have been. You're exactly where you are based upon the thoughts of yesterday. Now, let's create a new vision. Let's dream big. Step out. Be willing to take the hits and keep getting up and moving forward. Plunge on. You got what it takes. Get it done. God bless you. Thank you.